Welcome to Lakers Talk with Gerald. This is episode 167. I am happy to be talking about a Lakers win, and this is with the revamped roster. Man, we got 4 new guys, man. 3 of them played yesterday, and it looks like night and day from the team that we had before. Man, who would have thought just getting one trade would make a huge difference? And think about it, everybody. When we had Westbrook, most people were thinking, hey, it's no way we're going to be able to trade him and get anything of value, or we would have to give away the world. We'd have to give away everything to be able to get rid of him, because most teams wanted 2 first-round picks and a bunch of other things. And but we end up trading him away. We traded him, and we gave a second round or so, a few second rounds, and maybe a protected first round, right? So, and we got back guys such as D'Angelo Russell, who has been cooking, playing really good, a type of player that we really need. We got a guy named Malik Beasley, a shooting guard, 6'4" shooting guard. And then we got a guy named Vanderbilt, right? He's a 6'8", like, defensive guy. Like, I had no clue who this guy was. I had never heard of Malik Beasley either. I didn't know much about his game, if he played well or not. I knew about D'Lo. I knew since he left the Lakers, he's been just, he matured, and his game matured, and his three-point shot got better, and he kind of found his way in the NBA. So I was happy that, A, we were able to trade Westbrook, because he just wasn't a good fit with the Lakers. And then, B, we got such a nice haul back. And I kept hearing people say, like, man, that's an amazing trade. Like, man, people need to give the GM, they need to give him some credit, man, because they were really on him for a while. So the fact that he was able to get this trade and pull it off, a lot of people were like, wow, how did we get such quality people back for what we gave away? And not only quality, but every player we got back was a rotation guy that provides much needed things that we need. We needed shooting. We got 2 guys in D'Angelo Russell and Malik Beasley that are in the top 15 in takes and makes in the 3-point line, and D'Angelo Russell shoots damn near 40%, around 39% on around 7 3-pointers a game. That's a high volume. Same thing with Malik Beasley. He shoots around 8 to 9 3-pointers a game. He makes around 3. He's in the top 5 of makes per game in 3-pointers, and so that was amazing. Get these 2 guys that are great shooters. We didn't have anybody that shot that volume at that type of percentage, so that's going to be way better than someone like, Westbrook didn't shoot very well, so he's not going to be a guy that's going to be able to pull the defense outside and open up the floor. So, man, those 2 things are amazing. And then Vanderbilt, so like I said, I had never heard of this guy. His name is Jared Vanderbilt. I said belt, I think. So Vanderbilt, Bilt. He's 6'8", about 218 pounds, give or take. And I didn't know anything about him, but I kept hearing, like, man, how did you guys got Vanderbilt too? He's such an energy guy. His defense is up there. And I heard the word elite defender. I'm like, wait a minute, elite defender? We haven't had an elite defender besides Anthony Davis in a long time. And if we can get a guy, a wing that we really needed, a guy that was 6'8", that was one of our weaknesses also. We didn't have many wing players. We didn't have many guys over 6'7", and now we picked up another guy, 6'8", and he's elite defender. Like, damn, okay, can't wait to see him, and we had just picked up Hachimura about 3 weeks ago. He's around 6'8". So in the last few weeks in this in this free agency, we really picked up a bunch, and a bunch of needed things. So let's talk about this game. Okay, it started out, most fans wanted to see D'Angelo Russell start, and most likely, they didn't want to start a 2-guard lineup of, like, with Schroder in the game, because they kind of like mirrors their game. He's a kind of point guard, and everybody sees D'Angelo as a point guard. So I think a lot of people, including myself, didn't like the fact that initially we saw the starting lineup of Schroder starting next to D'Lo, because we kind of wanted to see another shooter like the Malik Beasley as the 2. That way there'd be like just elite shooting in the two guards, and they'd be taller. Malik Beasley's about 6'4", D'Angelo's 6'4", versus a 6'1" Schroder. But, so the starters end up being Schroder, D'Angelo Russell, Troy Brown, Hachimura, and Davis. Now, Troy Brown, I kind of wanted to either see Vanderbilt start, really, because if I heard he's elite defender and all that kind of stuff, I would have liked to seen that, but I can see why they didn't start him, because he's not a great three-point shooter. He does a lot of other things great, but so I think they wanted to be balanced in this game. And so in that starting lineup, with Troy Brown, Hachimura, and, both of those guys can shoot threes, along with D'Angelo Russell. And Schroder is decent. He's not an elite three-point shooter, but he's decent. So I could see why the coach started the team like that. Again, I wasn't exactly hyped on that. I was like, I don't think that's going to mix very well with Schroder being out there. It's going to kind of mess up D'Angelo's, flow. And, it kind of was awkward at times, but, man, I loved what I saw on the floor. I loved the way D'Angelo Russell mixed in with our team. Schroder, another great game, 2 games in a row where he's just being aggressive. Scored 26 points, 7 out of 12 field goals, 3 out of 4 from three-point line, and that's not even his strength right there. So the fact that he's knocking down three-pointers like that, he was our best three-point shooter in the game, and overall best player in the game in this game. But, I mean, man, the guy that shined out the most was Jared Vanderbilt. He is built for this. I got to make sure I get that right. Jared Vanderbilt. Man, his defense, his energy, he was all over the floor. Man, he was making so many great defensive moves. He was getting steals. He was getting offensive rebounds. I mean, he was just making the rest of the team. I mean, if he's on the floor playing like that, you have to show energy back. You have to ramp up your style of play, and then he just was infectious, and he really impressed me. Not even that, he had a couple nice making ability that I didn't think he had, or I didn't know he had. A couple times where he got the ball, they passed it to him, and he made a good pass to somebody underneath the basket for a dunk or two. I mean, just plays like that. He was just all over the place, and he really made a difference. This guy, I'm super happy now. Now I see why people said we won in this the whole trade thing. I didn't have a really idea, because I didn't know who 2 of those guys were. But now that I see, oh my goodness, yeah, we definitely got a steal. With getting him, getting Beasley, and also getting D'Lo. And Hachimura, who we got a few weeks ago, who I was kind of he hadn't really shown me a lot up until now. But they started him, and he hit a couple key buckets in this game, too. He hit a couple three-pointers. He was 2 out of 4. He was 6 out of 11 field goals, had 16 points. I mean, man, on a night that Anthony Davis' defensive game was just out the door, he was not playing well, was missing shots, wasn't getting foul shot calls. So for a night that LeBron James was out of this game and Anthony Davis didn't play very well offensively, it really took all that rest of the team to really, play well. And other guys that came off the bench, Reeves came in, played a big defensive game, hit a couple key shots. He didn't have a whole lot of points. He had 8 points, but he just, was effective in this game. Gabriel played some minutes, and Lonnie Walker played 15 minutes. He was, he only had 4 points, but he hit a couple shots that was nice too. So I was really impressed with this new look Lakers. I'm really excited about the rest of the season going forward, because even if LeBron is out, they showed today that they can play. We got a deep team now. We got guys that come in that can hustle. Guys can hit shot. We kind of we're covering all bases almost. We got wings. We got guys with height that can switch. We got guys a couple guys that can handle the ball when you need to, and D'Lo and Schroder. And when LeBron gets back, it'll be LeBron. So, and we just got a good energy. Even though we didn't shoot, we were 8 from 25 3-point shooting last night. Now, mind you, part of that was, Beasley, who's a great shooter. He's the one, the high volume shooter. He was actually 0 for 6 3-point shooting last night, which, Golden State was smothering him, though. They were playing him like he was prime Steph Curry. Like, they were double teaming him. They were not letting him get the ball. They were, and then so he was he had to shoot his shots quick. And some of them were forced. He had maybe one open shot or two, and he missed those. But he's one of those guys that you can tell the other team knew he's a good shooter. They knew he could shoot it quick. He can shoot it off curls. He can shoot it in all type of ways. He's not just a guy that's a catch and shoot. He can get it himself. By anytime he gets an open look, he can knock it down. So it really forced the other team, Golden State, to stay on us and play hard defense on him. And it opened up the rest of the floor, even when he wasn't making it. So I'm highly encouraged. And I can only imagine when LeBron gets back and, the way he can see the floor and set guys up and the gravity he pulls from the rest of the team, the other team, man, those guys are going to have so many open looks. I think we're going to have a great shot. I believe we're going to definitely make the play-in at least. We even got a chance to somehow get into one of the non-play-in spots, like a 6th spot. We do have a chance because in the next month, the last so many games, we're going to be playing. There's a lot of in-conference games, a lot of games where the Western Conference are just going to be battling out amongst each other. The Lakers' next 5-6 games are going to be all against Western Conference teams that are all vying for a play-in spot. So if we can definitely win some games of those, it's going to make a big difference because we're going to be beating those guys. We're going to gain a whole game ahead of each one of those teams we play. Like, we got to play Portland next. Then we got to go play. Then we got to play New Orleans. Then we got to play, I believe, and we're going to play Golden State again. We're going to play, like, Memphis. So all these teams that are in the Western Conference that, if we play them and we win, we're going to gain ground. So it's definitely a time we got to come together. We got to bring it together fast. But I am definitely more hopeful than I've ever been this whole season. So, everybody, that's going to do it. So excited for this new Lakers group. Lakers Talk with Gerald, episode 167. I'm officially out.